Good afternoon from Europe here today. So we're having our monthly webinar about APMP certification and APMP guidelines. And my name is Wolfram Seiring. And I have my colleague here, Thomas Moritzer, as co-chair today. And I can see right now we have 3 silent participants here. We have quite a number of material. Let's see how far we can go here. So please, I don't know what's your background, how much basic knowledge you have, but let's dive into, APMP certification. And in general, our main focus is right now the foundation part, but we give you a general overview as well. Our teams are located in Europe. You might be located in other regions, but most likely this doesn't matter. As I said, I'm Wolfram Seiring, and my colleague Thomas Moritzer is also here on the call. So let's get an overview about APMP certification. So we have 5 topics to talk about today, and the overview a bit how you can train to get certified, the basics of the exam. We have a small test exam as well, and the expertise actually we can provide from Bitbox point of view. As I said, I'm not sure if we can do everything today, but we will see. And please, Thomas is looking in the chat, so you have some questions, please raise any question anytime, so I can take this into my presentation here. First of all, why shall people go for APM certification? If you are a professional in bid and proposal management, it's the opportunity to get certified on different levels. And as I said, we will focus more on the foundation today, but you will see how the path would actually work. So it's the only global standard for proposal professionals, including everybody who actually works within the proposal, like the graphics designer, the writer, proposal manager, and the perhaps support you will get for your proposal. And it really gives you a kind of professional stamp when you work with your company or you apply for new jobs, for instance. Clearly people can see, okay, let's say the basis of proposal management. APMP is actually hosting this. So APMP is the Association of Proposal Professionals, focusing on not only on tenders, but also on B2B. So it's B2G and B2B. And you can see in the next slide, we are hovering around 14,000 members going in and out, but this is the current base level. And as you can see, it's also about presenting proposal. It's also about the capture part. Yeah, it's big tenders, but it's also small bids. So, APMP certification covers the whole business development process. We are organized in, our APMP home base is in the US, and we are organized in different chapters. And as you can see down here, 44% are around about 40% are international chapters. So for instance, Thomas and I, we are from the DACH chapter as well. And close by, we have the UK chapter, the Dutch chapter, or the Netherlands chapter. We have French, and so on. Any questions I can see? No? Okay. All right. Then, as we are coming from the Dutch chapter, so we do everything in German, but of course this whole certification is in English. So just let you know, most likely our French colleagues in the chapter are more, let's say, using the French language and the French circumstances here. And we have, of course, a separate web page as well. And just one specific thing, we also support the body of knowledge stuff in German. And Thomas, he's on the call here. He's maintaining it. So this is very special to our chapter. If you want to get hold of the German BOK, you need to be a chapter member of DACH. All right. So the current status is, everybody who wants to start certification has to go to foundation, and then he can go further, either to practitioner or capture practitioner, and later on to professional. Meanwhile, APMP developed also micro certifications. They are a bit different because you can take this independent. So you can take micro certification, or you go for graphics independently. So if you want to be, get let's say a specialist certification for graphics in proposals, this is the focus here. And everything we say here from Bitbox, of course, all the intellectual property, of course, is with APMP, and even sometimes from APMG. I will explain you the difference later on. Okay, so it all starts, let's say you have to have some experience with proposal management, at least 1 year. And as you can see, this is just 1 year plus. And when you go further, the practitioner, it goes with 3 years to 7 years. So you can see, here we have mainly also beginners. 1 year in practice, and then they actually have to train themselves to take APMP certification for the foundation level here. And it just goes one after the other. First the foundation, then the practitioner or capture practitioner, and then the professional level. Foundation and practitioner, capture practitioner is multiple choice, as you can see here. But you have to train yourself to take the certification, otherwise you will fail. And you have to learn all the basics. I will come to this later. Yeah. So if you look at, competence required, it's now foundation. So you need your foundation knowledge as well to do your practitioner, because this is the foundation for this. Yeah, and then further on, when it goes to practitioner here, it's about applying everything which is in the body of knowledge into a practical case. In professionals, basically, you are standing out, so you're doing something very special project for in the area of proposal management. Then, of course, you get your certification once, and then you have to renew it. So within 2 years, for the foundation level, you need to earn 20 CEUs. That means you have to participate in conferences, or you go to webinars from APMP, or actually trainings which are marked as CEU level for instance, from ATOs. Yeah, but it's not every training. It has to be related to the APMP stuff here. And we call them continuing professional development units, CPGs. In the past, it was CEUs, but it's the same. Don't worry about that. Yeah, but also you have to be clear. If you want to, let's say, stay with your certification, you have to be a member of APMP. Otherwise, you can't earn the CEUs. Yeah, and the membership per year, it's around about 170, you think, dollar or euros, depending how you see this right now. Roundabout. It depends how the ratio is at the moment. Then we need to differentiate between APMP, and we have to, a second body is the organization which is responsible for the professional certification and examination. So when you go for examination, it will be done via APMG. And APMG is not only doing APMP certification, they do ITIL, project management, a wide list of certification you can do. And you will find it on the internet, what APMP is. Something says here, change spoken language, okay. Maybe you can do this, Thomas. Okay, so that was the first introduction. So I mean, how can I get actually my certification? Yeah, we talk about foundation. So foundation, 1 year experience. Then, and we just talk about the price for the certificate. So the APMG price is around 372 if you're a member. If you're not a member, you see it's much higher. And the membership per year is 170. So I mean, it's more efficient to be a member when it comes to the foundation price. So it's lower. So it always makes sense to be a member. That's my point here. Then here, Thomas, you know, there's some change coming up. Right now, the exam is online. It's 60-minute exam, and non-native speakers have plus 15 minutes. I learned now with from March onwards, there's a new foundation version, V4. They increased this. Yeah, so it's even native speaker have more time for the exam for the same number of test cases. And it's open book, multiple choice, so easy. Open book means you need to understand what is in the body of knowledge, what is in the foundation study guide. You have to know the terms, and you have to learn this before to take the exam. And this is the key. Yeah. You need to take somehow, you either do it yourself for a couple of weeks, or you take a workshop, which helps you to get started, or you take a course, which is distributed over 4 weeks to make you ready for the foundation. And it's pretty simple. It's 75 questions, and you need, I don't know, 42. But you see, the time is limited. So there's no time to think. You have to know the answer in a way. You have to know the terms. Okay. So what actually we provide is we have, let's say, 2 types of preparation courses. One is a workshop, and one is actually a one-day workshop. One is a course over time. But anyway, all of it will be managed by a training portal. So if people prepare themselves, they can go, I mean, they could come to BitBox, for instance, or any other ITO. In our case, we have our learning management system, and participants get all the relevant information they need to prepare for the exam. Right now, we have 3 certified accredited trainers. So it's Hussein, it's me, and it's Thomas. And one of us are actually then doing the training. And I come to this later, we may be also your examiner if you actually want this or you do it yourself. And our main focus is foundation, practitioner, and practitioner, those 3. But the big amount is still coming from foundation. Okay, so to understand, if you're already trained in general in beta proposal management, you most likely you have gone to some trainings like capital management, exit summary writing, proposal management writing. And then if you have this foundation, it's much easier to go to the preparation for your certification. And this is a logical way of doing it. Hopefully you have a process in your company. Otherwise, there is a standard process also used by APMP you have to understand, or from Bitbox. Okay, and that's what I said earlier. I mean, there is the possibility to take a course over 4 weeks, 2 hours per week. It's 4 modules in total. And then after that, you decide when to take the exam, alone or with us. Yeah. And you actually will not usually get the coaching, but you also, you see number 4 here. You can just take a workshop. Yeah, but then you are very much need to, I mean, you also get a lot of information material from us, but then you have to do it yourself. In the case number 1, we coach the teams until they pass the examination. I hope this is understandable. So this is the course part. In the workshop, this is, let's say, reduced into 1 day of 7 hours only. Any question there? No. Okay. All our, let's say, courses are live trainings. Yeah, and we also have other courses which are self-paced, but this course has live sessions, 4 days, each 2 hours. And between those, say, 7 days in between, you have to learn your stuff. You have to train yourself. You have to read the body of knowledge. You have to read the foundation study guide, etc. Yeah. Okay. So then we have our online sessions, which we mainly use Teams. If we have particular customers, we can take a different online, let's say, tool, but we mainly use Teams. We can use Zoom, but our preferred solution is Teams. Here examples of the courses we're having. Yeah, you see the next opportunities for the course start in January. And here you have some ideas how this all works. As I said, what you see is the example prices you see here are based on if you're a member. If you're not a member, the prices for the exam is higher. Okay. Then on the left side down here, you see the workshops. In January the 24th, in February the 21st. So we have 1 day in a month. We have a foundation workshop. You see all this actually, by the way, also on Eventbrite, where you can, if you want to book it directly, or you just turn to us. So now we actually go a little bit into, let's say, dive into.
Wolfram, may I ask or give you even the chance to answer a question?
Yeah. I see one.
Laura asked you, must I have 1 year experience to start the training course, or is it the 1 year only required before the actual exam?
It's 1 year before the exam.
Yeah.
So the training is up to you. Nobody will track this. You could do the exam without the training, in principle. Yeah. But if you, I mean, you could have trained yourself at home all the time or over the weekend. You know?
It's not a stringent requirement APMP has for 1 year in front of the exam. So
yeah. Just a reminder here. I mean, when we talk about this, our APMP certification, of course, we talk about competitive proposals, competitive tenders. So there's always customer, yourself, and a competitor. In this environment, everything is described also in the body of knowledge in a way. Otherwise, if there's no competition, a lot of stuff you can skip. Okay, so this is just a snapshot from the body of knowledge, the English one. So I mean, everything is online, so you can't download this. This is online. The only thing you can maybe download are parts, or actually you buy the Foundation Study Guide directly from the webpage, or you participate in our courses where you actually get most of the material. Then, as I said, the body of knowledge, we have it also in German. But you have to understand right now the exam is only in English and to some extent also in Japanese. We as the German, let's say German-speaking DACH chapter, we are aiming for having it perhaps in the future also in let's say the exam in German, but this is there's no fixed date yet. So independent, everything is in English. But sometimes the German book may help you to understand better. Those two publications you need to be aware of or learn. One is you need to understand the glossary, the terms, because only those terms are valid in the exam. It doesn't matter what you have learned in your company or in your area, terms are set. And also there's a study guide, which is a kind of going across the body of knowledge and taking, let's say, focus on different topics which are most important. Meanwhile, I mean, Thomas, there is a new version issued already also. So everything what we have right now available is on version 3, but from March onwards there will be version 4. Thomas?
You now can download two versions, V3 and V4, and my advice is just to download or to buy the V4 version begin next year. It will be the actual version at all, so don't spend money for old knowledge, just buy the new one.
Yeah, and this is latest information from a couple of days ago. I think we got this 5 days ago, last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we can actually talk about it as we are an accredited training organization, which is, let's say, doing the stuff every day with APMP and APMG. So we have to adjust then also our trainings to this, or let's say, and I may come to give you some ideas. There are a little bit of changes. I don't have it in the presentation today, Thomas, by the way, but we can mention it.
Yeah.
Okay. This is just for advice for self-learning here. And I think I talked about it already. Get this documentation, become a member of APMP, then you have access to the book. If you're not a member, you don't have the book. So it will be very difficult. No, I mean, get your own APMP Foundation Study Guide. Yeah, and let's say read it and discuss it. And also, as I said, I mean, if you have somebody who is professional, you can ask him. If you prefer to do it with other people in a course like we provide, in 4 modules, it might be nicer, to be honest, than just doing it alone. Okay. And independent from how you have trained yourself, where did your training, Beatbox's ATO can also take all the exams. So either you go yourself, register online, or you tell us, we put together a group, and then we will handling the examination. So we are, how can I say, we are accredited, we can do this. Otherwise, you may get a random person while doing the exam in the system you have never seen before. Okay, Now, just to give you a little bit of insights only, I know, just to give you a glimpse what's in this foundation. And we talk about 5 areas. There is an area of which covers information research and management, an area which talks about proposal planning, proposal development, proposal management, and sales. I mean, sales-related topics to the proposal. And this gives you already an idea, focus, which information I have to focus on. It might have changed now a bit in the new version, Thomas. We need to check. So there are different areas where the questions are coming from. And of course, there's some areas, the less optional questions. But you can see already most of the questions here will come from development and management. Quite obvious. Here, an example of some terms. Yeah. So you need to understand the language. You talk about hot buttons, price to win. A nice one is always theme statements. So if you don't understand what this theme statement in proposal means, you can't answer the question. Okay? So, I mean, in our trainings, we will go to all these terms by doing this workshop or the course. Okay, so how do I get examined? So the examination is done on the APMG portal, not APMP. And it's self-explainable. I mean, I have here some links. We provide this information later on our learning management system for free. So you can register there, and then you have access of the material you actually see here today. And yeah, so for instance, if I would click there, you could go there, you can type in everything, you prepare yourself and take your exam. Yeah. So it's, for instance, like this example. This is a snapshot. It's not the latest one, but you select your APMP foundation. Here a hint. If you do it yourself, you have to be pretty sure you are in the right location, because here it shows euros. And if your browser is in UK, it shows you a different price in pounds, which is not 100% the same like in euros. So, or you come to us and we arrange this. You don't have to do this yourself. Then, as you can see here, you can book your exam here automatically. Language is anyway English. You get some explanation, and then you can start. So if you're not familiar with this portal, it might be better. You do later some test exams. You see here the instructions again, 60 minutes, 75, 56%, it's 42, and so on. Yeah. Then we suggest that there's a possibility to do a test exam, 75 questions in 1 hour. We suggest then, I mean, when you do the course with us, we will do this at the end. We do a lot of tests in between, test questions to get familiar. But here is the same look and feel like the original. So you can make you familiar with the environment. And this is important before you take the exam. It looks like this, the version 3. Version 4 will be a little bit different. It has the same question somehow, but the way you rate it is different. And I think we will do this in New Year, in January. Thomas, we will put a version together where we actually could go a bit more deeper into the new version 4, so people get familiar with this. Okay. So if you want, we can just have a very, let's say, small test questions. So we're coming to the end now. So how much time do we have left here? So we have done 34 minutes, right? Yeah, okay. So I show you 5 questions. I mean, we have also done some electronic ones for you, but I think we are a small group. I think we don't need that. So you can actually put your rating into the chat. Yeah. So this is one question here, and please read. And just only one is correct out of 4. It's always the same. 1 out of 4. And we just when you think, I mean, put your let's say result into the chat, A, B, C, or D. Thomas, you may see this, right?
Yeah.
I just go here.
Just got the first.
Laura is typing.
Yeah, Laura is typing. Mohammed is typing. It's A or B. I think A. Three times A.
So it in a proposal it's service based. What is the general policy regarding naming individuals for specific roles? So you have this quite often that it's a project and you have to put a name behind the role in your proposal. So it's A.
Yeah.
Because if you have a name, put the best individual you have in there already. Yeah, this is just, I mean, if this is a set answer for the exam, which is generic. In reality, I know you may not do this all the time. Okay, let's do one more. So and this is an interesting one, which is a kind of a reverse answer. So which of these documents is not similar to a compliance checklist? So which of the documents is not similar to a compliance checklist? Oops. BBA.
Yep, BBB. Candidates get 100%.
Yeah, we just remark, be careful. Read, I mean, in particular, when you're not native like us, we are Germans, we may misunderstand the sentence, and that's reading to the wrong question. So it's not similar. It's clear. I mean, yeah.
Take your time to read the questions very carefully. That's my advice.
Yeah. And you learn to read the sentences when you do the test exams. Yeah, and you need
it's hard for native speakers as well sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we also said, I think we saw the new questions, Thomas, already. So sometimes it's difficult even for us. So the next one, when should a content plan? So content plan, a content plan is something specific in proposals. So you need to understand what a content plan is. Otherwise, you may not be able to answer this. Yeah. First, to be defined for later development. C.
D. C. B.
Yeah, I mean, when you do this many times, of course, there is a logic when you have done so many proposals in real, and But if you're not familiar with these terms, you don't, you all see these answers and you don't see the difference. But there is a difference. And a content plan is, of course, a list of documents somehow you have to prepare. Yeah, and they have to be, of course, available before the kickoff meeting. So not after. And again, you might be a different opinion, but there is a reason why it's before the proposal kickoff meeting according to the structure of the best practice way of doing proposals. Yeah. Somebody would say at the proposal kickoff meeting, it depends how you define the kickoff meeting. Okay.
Yeah, you have to have it on the kickoff meeting, but it is prepared in front of.
Yeah. And definitely not following the kickoff meeting, because kickoff meeting is one of the most important meetings you come together with your proposal team. If you mess this up, you have a problem. Okay, one more. I think in total we have 5. Which of these statements best describes a theme statement? You may choose only one. This is one of our favorites, Thomas.
Yeah.
So what is the theme statement?
So A with a question mark. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I think it's difficult if you're not working with this on every day, but I mean, I can explain just before I open the result here. First of all, theme statement is always a link between benefit and feature. So you need to look for benefit and feature. And benefit is something benefit for the customer, and feature is your feature, what you offer. But here's another word in here, which is in C, which is discriminating feature. And discriminating feature means it's a feature only you can provide to the customer in this proposal. So you have 3 things.
Yeah.
Benefit, feature, and discriminator. Yeah, so of course, if you do this 100 times, you have inherited this completely.
So
yeah, and the last one.
Yeah. Got a comment from Laura. Will be helpful when you have the book to look back to. I can say yes, but you will get a study guide, and the study guide includes most of the documents or the articles which are included in the book. And this study guide is pure focused on the foundation level. So there's no too much, and just write the knowledge you need.
Yeah, I mean, this was this one, yeah. Also, when you do a training for this, or you do a proposal training anyway, these terms belong to each other from the beginning. They have a kind of a rule and sequence why it's used. You need this information. It's not just a statement, but when you've understood this, how this is all connected, then it's much easier than also to do the preparation for the exam. Yeah. Because you might work in a company which is not, how can I say, having the best process or competent development of all your organization in proposals. So then it's more difficult to do the exam. I mean, of course, you don't have to be 100% right. So the rate to fail is not very high, because you pass already with 42. Okay, last one. And this is also a special one. because, here's a question when it comes to a number, a digit, a value. So according to best practice principles, when scheduling a proposal, how much time should be held in reserve to cover any additional tasks that may be requested? And there is a best practice value, but you may develop in your practice your own idea. But here you need to know the number, because the number is in the book. It doesn't matter if you say, but I think it's more this. No, you need to know the number. So a couple of questions, it's just about facts. What do we have here? Any answer?
The first, Leah already answered. Laura Rice also. Okay.
Can I?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So it says 10%. Yeah. Somebody would say, oh, I don't need so much. I take only 3%. But the rule says 10%. That's it. It's just for passing the exam. Okie dokie. That's all what we have today. And I think we took, how much time is it? Okay.
3/4
minutes. Perfect. Let's see if there's any further question.
So thank you for your time from Alia.
Yeah. So I think we hoped it was we rushed through a lot of information, but I hope it helps you to understand how APMP, let's say, accreditation works, certification, and yeah, and of course, we're happy to, let's say, if you have more questions, if you have would like to go for the exam or training, we are happy to support you. Thank you, Thomas.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for Laura Barnes, Laura Rice, Carlo Viani, and Alia Mohamed.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much.
She asked, please, I need to know if there is another free webinar I want to share with my friends.
Yes. There is actually the schedule for Q1 2005 is on our webpage. There's a list of it. We could also make it, we could send you a link where you find it. You can download the material for this, if this is okay for you. So we can write this in the chat.
Yeah.
And I think you will have, let me see. Let me stop sharing here now. Is this okay? And then if you stay online, stop sharing here. And let me quickly find this for you. Where is this? Okay. Let me stop the PowerPoint. Are we still online?
Yeah, Alia is still online. So
okay. I kill this one here, and I will just go here. Okay, and let me then quickly show you where to find it. And I kill this one here. I share my screen. I hope you will see it. Just say yes.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. You either go directly here under media and here you have the, can you see this? Just so you know.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So the schedule is
Q1 2025. Okay.
it's here. And there's also the option if you you can go here and as we schedule the latest versions also on our Eventbrite portal. And the next one here, for instance, the workshop is 15th of January.
Mm.
Yeah, it's all on our pages, as I said, but you can also send us an email.
Okay, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And so Thomas and I am available for you.
Yep.
All right. Hey, then wish you Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Yeah, exactly. And we will ramp down also. I think next Wednesday is most likely the last day for everybody before you travel to your family. And yeah, thank you very much for being with us. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.